Okay, so my name is Caitlin Carr, and today I'm going to be talking about eating disorders. So first I wanted to give a little bit of credibility and how this applies to myself. The pictures on the left are from my freshman year of high school, and the pictures on the right are my senior year of high school. A lot happened between that time, and I've changed a lot. So a lot of people, when I tell them my metabolism is really slow, they automatically say, no, you're small, your metabolism is not slow. But what they don't realize is that when you fast, your body goes into starvation mode, and then everything you eat turns into fat. And then so my metabolism is basically shot, which is why I gained 10 pounds senior year. And so now going through college, I eat once a day. I go home after class. So yesterday I went home at 4 o'clock and I ate, and that's basically all I ate all day. A lot of my issue was weighing myself almost every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. This is a BMI scale, which is body mass index for anyone who doesn't know. And once you reach below 18.5, you're considered underweight. And so I would calculate this to my height, and then once you hit 94 pounds, that is underweight for my height. So my goal would be 95 pounds so that I wasn't considered underweight, but I wanted to be skinny. So first I'm going to talk about anorexia. This usually comes up after puberty or early adulthood. Anorexia is basically restricted calorie intake, so you basically eat not a lot. And then people who are diagnosed with anorexia have a fear of gaining weight and becoming fat, even though they aren't actually fat. Once they lose the weight, this kind of mindset doesn't change, so they still have a fear of gaining weight even though they're skinny. It kind of goes with body dysmorphia, which I will talk about later. And then their self-image depends on their weight. So this is VeraEllen. She was in White Christmas. She was anorexic and she was considered the smallest waist in Hollywood. When she was 33, White Christmas debuted, and all of her costumes or whatever for the movie had to cover her neck. So as you see in all the pictures, her neck is covered because her anorexia made her age really early, so she didn't want her neck to be showed because of that. And then Demi Lovato, Kesha, and Allison Stoner also had anorexia. Demi Lovato was 18 when she got into treatment. Kesha went in 2014, and then Allison Stoner went in 2011, and they all had issues. So Demi Lovato, her mom and her grandma had eating disorders, and so it kind of runs in the genes, like Megan was saying. And then Allison Stoner was actually too skinny, so she got turned down from acting jobs, and they told her to go get help. And then when she actually got help, her calorie intake was less than 700 calories a day. So next I want to talk about bulimia. I obviously couldn't put pictures of that because that's throwing up. Same with BingePurge. But this shows up late childhood to early adulthood. You have to have this for at least 3 months to be considered bulimic. And then bulimia is basically loss of control over eating habits. So people with bulimia will vomit, they will use laxatives, they will exercise a lot, and then they will probably fast. They have compensatory behaviors, and their self-image relies on their weight and their body shape. This picture on the left is called Russell's sign, which I did not know anything about, but basically you get calluses and stuff on your hands from making yourself throw up. So that is common in a lot of bulimic people. These are 3 male people because I know all the males in here, it's mainly a female thing to have an eating disorder, so I wanted to include males to show people that it can apply to males. So Kit Harington from Game of Thrones, Elton John, which is a singer, and then Ashley Hamilton from Iron Man 3, they all had bulimia. So the next one I'm going to talk about is binge and purge. I can only put the binging pictures because purging is throwing up. So this usually appears in late childhood or early 20s. Basically what binge and purge is recurring episodes of binge eating, and then after you binge, you throw it all up because you don't want that food to turn into fat. So once you get those calories that you need, you basically throw it up. When they binge, they eat until they're overfull and they're not hungry, so they eat like way more than a normal person would in one meal. And then the difference between binge and purge and bulimia is that binge and purge people, they don't do excessive exercise after they throw up. People with bulimia will work out for hours and run stairs and all that kind of stuff after they throw up. Usually people with binge and purge will feel guilty, they'll be embarrassed, and they feel self-conscious over having this disease. These are people from Dr. Phil. They went on in 2016 for binge and purge. This picture is from 2014, before they had the disease. And then the two in the middle are before they went on Dr. Phil. And then that last one is 2018. I actually went on Instagram and I followed them to get pictures of them now, so I can include that. And then, obviously, from Full House, she had binge and purge too. And then what I also figured out was that when they were like filming Full House, they did an episode where DJ wanted to be skinny for a pool party or something like that. And so they actually did an episode on her like not eating and working out, and that picture on the bottom is her working out at the gym, and she ended up like almost passing out. So I thought that was like really weird how she did an episode on it, and then later, after the show had ended, when she moved to Canada, she ended up binging and purging. She got lonely. It wasn't really about like self-image, it was more about like her being lonely. And her husband was a hockey player who was gone half of the season for like away games, so she was really lonely, and so yeah, it was more of a emotional issue than a eating issue. So next I'm going to talk about body dysmorphia. This probably runs in like almost every single person in this class. For males, it's usually muscle dysmorphia, which is basically where you don't see yourself being as muscular as other people. So body dysmorphia is an obsession with perfection. So you usually will see something in yourself that not a lot of people see, so it's either like minor or it's non-existent, and you'll be self-conscious of that. And so for me personally, I hate talking about this, but because I'm Asian, my eyes and my nose really bother me, and so when I wear makeup, I contour my nose so that it looks like, I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, so I'm really self-conscious of my nose and my eyes and other stuff too, so that has it's taken a big toll on my like mental health. A study revealed that abnormal connections between brain regions and visual and emotional processing, so what you see and what you feel is not really connected to like what is actually like going on. So you have this issue where you see something that is not actually real in yourself or very minor. And then next I want to talk about social media and how this kind of affects all of it. So these are Greek life, sororities and frats, Victoria's Secret fashion show with all of the skinny people, and then obviously like regular social media. You kind of like, you see these people and you compare yourself to them and you think like, oh, what can I do to be like that? Or like, what do they have that I don't? And that puts you kind of in the mindset to get an eating disorder. So that is a big effect on people now, especially since social media is such a big thing and Instagram is really taken over everyone's life. And then this is the like, what do you call it? The number you call to like get help. And then I want to talk about the cost for inpatient and outpatient treatment. So usually this depends on like the severity and the duration of the eating disorder. So every person is considered on a different basis. So this is not true for like every single person. This is just like a general kind of thing. But inpatient treatment can range anywhere between $2,000 and $500 a day. So imagine spending $2,000 on treatment every single day if you're an inpatient. And then if you're an outpatient, costs can can reach up to $100,000. So, I mean, you have to get therapy and all this other kind of treatment to be able to get rid of something like this. It doesn't just automatically go away because you're in somewhere. Once you're in and then you get out, you have to continue treatment so that you can continue to move past an eating disorder. The average cost for a 30-day stay in facility is $30,000. So that is a lot. That would be so much tuition for a college student. And then patients need anywhere from 3 to 6 months in treatment. So when you add up all that money, it's a lot of money, and most insurances don't cover an eating disorder. And there are my sources.